everybody, and welcome to the Theatre Pitch podcast. My name is Jem, this is Joe.
Howdy.
And this is Sean.
Hello.
Sean is currently, for anybody who's listening, Sean is eating a rather large sweet. And I thought I was going to give him a little bit more time but no, Joe just said hi. But welcome to the Theatre Pitch podcast. This is the podcast where we take a random online encyclopedia article and each of us pitch how we would turn it into a theatre show. Then at the end, we smush all of the ideas together to make either a horrific monster of an idea or a piece of gold dust. Speaking of gold, Joe, what is the article for today?
This week's article is Hugo Louis Byers. Ludwig Hugo, brackets, Louis, close brackets, Byers, was a German-Australian gold miner and politician. After his parents died in West Prussia from the plague, he immigrated to America, where he then would later on, because of his youth, leave the California goldfields because he was not permitted to travel there, go to Australia. He married his mining partner's he married a woman.
Just read it.
Just say he got married.
He got married. His sister married his mining partner at the same time. He worked as a draper's assistant. He died age 65.
Why you seem to be struggling with the concept of a double wedding? He got married to his sister. Got married at the same time.
He didn't marry his sister.
He didn't get married to his sister. But his sister was there at the ceremony because she was also getting married to a man who wasn't him. It was a different man. They were brother and sister. They didn't get it. He got married as well to a different woman who wasn't
the thing
related
is,
to the man.
Sean, normally free online encyclopedia provides me a nice opening paragraph that I read for this. But this time round it was one sentence, so I thought I'd throw in a bit more information, and it went to pot.
That's what happens when you make stuff up as you go along. You really struggle with it, don't you?
I like the way Joe fluffed something that is literally written down in front of him. And Sean, before we were recording, you were saying, criticising me for how unprepared I am. But damn it, I nailed that intro.
I said the pair of you were unprepared. I didn't single you out. I said the pair of you.
And I'd like to say that you saying I'm unprepared, yes, you've noticed. Thank you.
You feel seen.
Yeah, like I feel like ramshackle is part of my charm.
There you go. Well done. Well,
in your case, Jem, it just looks like you're slacking.
I mean, anything other than perfection seems like I'm slacking.
Yeah, that's why you've been slacking for these past 3 seasons.
No, I mean, I'm proud of that little segue that I managed to find only like a split second before I said it, but still, it proved that I had read the article.
So he was a German gold miner, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was a politician as well at some point.
How did you guys find this article? Because I'm going to be honest, like, I thought it was going to be super inspiring. And then every idea I came up with, I was like, that's cool. I don't want to see it.
I've got to be honest. I think I've got an idea and I'm pretty happy with it.
I've got a concept. It's stupid, but, you know, who was expecting anything else? And I would see it, but I will watch anything. So that's not really saying anything, but my idea came quite early on.
Okay, well, speaking of early on, go on then, Sean.
Actually, I'm about to have a sweet, so I shouldn't really talk to my mouth full.
I think you should.
In which case, you know what, Jem? Why don't you go first? Just because you got to go last week.
Okay,
by the way, why are we not acknowledging the fact that you guys missed me?
I mean, that's implying a lot, Sean.
Sean, I see you at least 3 times a week or hear your voice. It's missing one day doesn't mean I miss you that much.
You clearly don't love him enough, Joe.
What, that I don't see him every day?
Yeah, not for the bromance. Okay, an idea. So when Sean says that he doesn't have an idea, or a pitch, he has a concept. I think I'm on that train too. So, just wetting the cockles of my voice.
For anyone who can't see this and is just listening, what we're witnessing right now is stalling. Even this.
Yeah.
You had a week.
I did, but I genuinely was like, oh, that's a cool idea that's boring. Oh, that's a cool idea that's boring. That's boring too.
And this is also stalling.
It is. Okay, so. The... I don't care, every time you say this is stalling.
She was like trying to breathe in the idea then.
Oh God, I hope the idea's in the air.
So, I got really fascinated by this idea that this is a guy who traveled around the world and literally went and gold mined, and it's this idea of searching for gold. And I did think, oh, I could do something verbatim, or I could do the story of gold miners, and I just got bored with that idea. And then I thought, okay, well, what's the thing that I'm finding fascinating is that this idea of literally grinding away at your fortune and searching for your fortune and finding fame in that, because this guy and his partner discovered one of the largest gold reefs, gold lines, gold thing in the world, and especially in Australia, and they're known for it, right? That it's named after them. And I thought, oh, okay, well, what's the modern equivalent, right? And so my idea, and this is where it's kind of one of those kind of things of a concept, and maybe your questions will mean that I can solidify the idea a little bit more, is I really want to explore the idea that I kind of feel like TikTok and content creation and like searching for fame is the modern day version of gold mining, right? You try and you mine away for millions of followers and you try and find that piece of gold, whether it's as a content creator, you are trying to find that bit that means that like you'll become the household name, or that's what you become known for, or whether it's literally just mining for gold and mining for followers that then you can monetize and literally turn into gold. And I very much thought, that's where it used to be one of those, I'll travel to the Californian desert to mine gold as this dude did. We now travel to the Californian desert to go and stay in TikTok houses, and we it's this constant search and mining, and I saw quite a lot of parallels. So I see currently, and I don't know if I like it, but I see this as a fringe theatre performance that is a new media, mixed media performance, where we draw parallels. We've got 3 people, right? Or potentially a cast of 4. But we have the 2 best friends who are mining for gold, and we tell that story. We tell the story of the dude in the article whose name I can't remember because it just won't go in because I was more bored by the article than I expected to be. And we tell his story, but we also in parallel tell the story of a young person on their own similar journey to find and mine those millions of TikTok followers, right? Because we always see, the TikTok, the influencers, we always see them at the top of the game, but we don't ever really talk about how many years they've spent slogging away, actually trying to find and create content. We only know them for, and then we also only know them for that one thing that they do, and that one thing that they did, right? And I very much wanted to tell these 2 stories in parallel, kind of like jumping between the 2 timelines, very much just because I wanted to sort of bring some questions about that idea us as a society, you know, I did think, well, maybe the mining for gold is kind of like the Apple story, mining for technology, but that's a story from 20 years ago. Today, it's about finding followers, and that I feel like is the modern gold mine, is finding that fortune through influence, and kind of raise those questions on that. So, yeah, and throughout, with it being new media, I very much wanted to have those moments where we can play with both the gold miners' story as well as the TikTokers' story by putting in some TikTok trends. And so the show is always adapting to what is on trend at the moment. You know, whether it's like moments that don't seem staged but are in the gold miners' stories that are actually pertaining to trends on TikTok, like when you put the certain song over them doing something is actually the trend, so that we can just start messing and blurring those lines a little bit as well and having fun. But yeah, that idea that we are running these two like life stories that were very much ambitions of the masses at their respective times together as a little bit of a commentary. That's my pitch.
So I do have one first question, which is, what the hell is a TikTok house?
A TikTok house? Oh, they are the most toxic, horrendous things ever. It's literally a person with a lot of money buys a mansion, right? And they fill it with like 5 or 6 TikTokers or however many TikTokers. And the idea is that it's like a content creation house. They had them at the height of YouTube, and now they're more TikTok houses. But literally, you are living with other influencers just making content all day. And it's usually like all of those TikToks and Instagram stories and people who you see where it's like a house that's pretty much empty, but sort of similar to like the house that another influencer has. Like they tend to be in a TikTok house together. There's big problems with the system, and like it's quite abusive and really bad for mental health for influencers, but it's a TikTok house.
Sean, any thoughts?
Oh, I hate
Are you getting my selfie vibes?
it. I am getting my selfie vibes all over it. Firstly, I'm starting to really hate your ideas, because I see the article and I'm like really like literally trying to turn it into a show. Like, this is what it says. I have to realise it, and you're just you're just smashing through it with like a metaphor that is a hammer, that is also a metaphor. And you're just like, oh, it means that. It's gold. I'm mining for gold. But secretly in the future, we're mining for followers. And I'm going to put that together. I hate your idea, Gemma, because I am going to be so mean to you, right? It's very GCSE.
It is, isn't it?
Yes!
Yeah, I mean, I will be honest. If you told me about this show, I would not see it.
No,
I'm not saying no one
problem.
would, but I would not
just
personally.
I was just like, oh, why don't I just tell the story of these guys? And I was just like, that's boring. And then I was just like, oh, why don't we make it an immigrant story? And then I was like, oh, no. And then, it just...
I believe all of that what you're saying. I believe that you went through all of that. I know. I believe you that you went through. I'm going to tell their story. Maybe I'm going to tell a story of an immigrant. I can tell that. So
I know you did,
You're
because
so
it's...
serious. And this is coming from a person who knows what he's going to pitch. And I'm still saying I don't like yours.
I mean, I literally, like, I was just like, well, what is... I started and I was like, well, what is the modern day gold?
I see it.
Gold
There's,
mine.
the concept's there. I like that. I really worried when you went, okay, so what's the modern day mining for something? I really thought you were going to go cryptocurrency. I was like,
I kind of considered that, or like considered
Yeah,
like that
because
search
that
for the new
is
tech.
would be more accurate.
But it's one of those things of like searching for the new tech, or like NFT hunting and things like that. But then I was like, if you manifest that as a show, oh my gosh, I feel like I'd prefer if you just ripped my teeth out with pliers.
NFTs. Me and
Like,
I did it. I was listening to something about NFTs, and like they're all there like going, "Oh, they're so bad for the environment. They're so bad for the environment." And the other people on the podcast were like, "Oh, I know. Oh." And I think I was talking to Joe one night, and I was like, "Joe, I hear all these people talking about NFTs, and they're saying they're bad for the environment." And I said to Joe, I was like, "I don't understand how though, because they're just pictures on the computer. I don't understand how they're bad."
I'm not going to turn this into me explaining how they are worse for the environment.
I'm glad that you do know, though, Joe.
Because also Sean has heard me explain it.
Yeah.
We'll do another podcast on that.
Yeah. If you want to listen to that, once again, subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah.
But also set us up a Patreon.
Yep.
It is imperative.
You get to join us playing Fall Guys. And you get to talk to us.
Yeah, I will. If you pay me to do it, and you set it up so that you set up the payment stream for me as well, I will play at least one game of Red Dead Online with you.
Yep. I'm his friend, so I know that you have to set up everything for him to just do something with you.
Yeah,
It is true.
I will put in the bare minimum amount of effort, and yet still expect praise for it. That's my genuine thing.
You know what's really funny though? I know what that's a reference to. That I remember we all went on like about 2 months of playing Red Dead Redemption Online, and then Joe downloaded it and we stopped playing.
Yeah.
That's a big game as well.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like both of you are stalling to not tell me that your next idea.
You know what? I'm not. If you want, I'll jump straight in with my idea.
I think Sean needs to go. I think it needs to be Sean.
No, Sean can wait till last.
Okay.
He can wait his turn.
Let me get another switch.
So, I thought
Sorry, Joe. I just have to point out, mainly for the people who are listening, that every time Sean has said, "I'm going to get a sweet," they've all been those long, chunky laces of sugar, but each and every one has been a different colour. And I'm like genuinely impressed. Well done. You've got the Power Rangers.
How many packs do I have?
Oh, just how many? I just have visions of you going around the sweet store, kind of going, "I'm going to make the Power Rangers out of my sweets," because they have been the colours of Power Rangers. But Joe, your idea.
So, I thought when I was looking at this article, there was enough here in his life story that I thought you could probably just do an interesting show out of it. Like, his parents die when he's young from the plague, and he travels on his own to America. Then from there is told he's too young to gold mine, so travels to Australia to do it, because obviously everything's legal in Australia. Then, he goes on to become a successful gold miner and a politician. Then somebody thought was his friend defrauds him of all his money and leaves him bankrupt. But then he builds up enough money to actually have something again. Then he dies age 65. But there was one detail that I was focused on in the article that I couldn't get out of my head. And that's that. I'm just going to read you 2 parts of this article. Hugo Louis Byers, born 1st of January 1845. Then, in the biography, it says he emigrated to America aged 13, but he then moved on to Australia in 1856. Now, I don't know whether the article got it wrong that he was 13 or got the 1856 wrong, but either way, there are 2 years that aren't accounted for there that are a time anomaly. Either it happened when he was 11 or it happened in 1858. But also, we have to assume it's the former because apparently upon arriving in Sydney, he worked as a draper's assistant and in 1856 moved to Hill End to mine gold.
So this is where there's going to be a massive cut, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely, when Joe was recounting the story of this man's life, I thought Joe was
don't know what happened there. Apparently the video conferencing platform that we use for this decided that what I'm telling are too big a truths to be unveiled, and they tried to crash my internet. Just closed it down for me. So, back to what I was saying. The fact that this timeline doesn't quite add up.
Joe, can I just stop you for a second? Just in the air of Sean's production quality. Sean is... Oh, there you go. Joe's face is back. You were still frozen in quite an interesting way, Joe. Your physical presence was still virtually with us.
But yeah,
everybody be in a different position, so it looks really weird when I cut.
So, I want to explore this man's life through both the true and false tales about him. How we start off it being a tale of him telling his life, it being kind of a play that is, the main character is, the narrator is Hugo Louis Byers. But quickly, we start to see that things happen where it's like, you know, he says he was 13 when he moved to America, but it's 1856, only 11 years after he was born. And we start seeing these kind of problems with the story where it's facts don't quite add up. Tales are getting told that things couldn't have happened. That suddenly it's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something of like, he's like, yeah, and then I was gold mining with my friend Steve Irwin. And you're like, but Steve Irwin wasn't born for another 80 years. And it's just, I want this to be a kind of ludicrous telling of his life story where it's unclear if he is actually a time traveler, because that's the only way this makes sense in my head. And I haven't quite finished my pitch yet. I thought I would throw out there as well. This will be taking place at the Royal Theatre in Perth, because I thought, you know, I was looking around the theatres of Western Australia, and it's a beautiful theatre. I could also see it touring to places such as the PB Hilton Theatre in Rockhampton. Yeah, I've done my research about local theatres of Australia.
Australia theatres, hasn't it?
That was what I did earlier. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my idea is one man telling his life story, but through the lens of, is he or isn't he a time traveller?
So, when you started talking and started recounting the story of this guy's life, I genuinely thought you were going to pitch Hamilton, but Hugo. And now, since you've pitched this, do you remember David Tennant's Casanova from...
So, Sean, are you quickly rewriting your idea in your head right now, by any chance?
I mean...
Carry on, Gemma.
Like, this is so... I don't know if anybody, if you saw or you remember David Tennant's Casanova just before he turned into the Doctor for Doctor Who. But it was very much...
Thanks for telling us which show that was where David Tennant played the Doctor.
I mean, you don't know.
Wait, did he play a doctor in Casualty?
No, he was in Doctors.
Oh, was he Doctors? Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's like the whole frame of Casanova was this idea of an old man telling his life story, and it had flaws, and it had, you know, in it he invented the lottery. And then, you know, for me at least, the giggle worthy is that you're like, oh, but is he a time traveller? And I'm like, yes, is David Tennant a time traveller?
A time traveller?
A time traveller, yeah.
Who travels in time.
But no, I didn't... I've seen bits of that Casanova series, and I think that kind of hits on it of, like, yeah, that tonally is the sort of thing I'm going for, which is kind of like, this is meant to be a fun show. It's meant to kind of, I was thinking, like, as a show, like, yeah, that kind of, or like, I don't know, kind of,
fast, like.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, if it was written by Mel Brooks.
You know what? I don't dislike it. I think it would be a hard sell for me. Like, but I think maybe that's just because I really don't want just linear narrative storytelling right now.
Well, I'm sorry that it wasn't a metaphor about TikTok.
No, yes. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that as a comment and as a retort. Me and my degree.
In response to that, my show is now formally going to be 3 hours long and there will not be an interval. Purely to go for the other end of the attention span.
Brilliant. Yeah. I don't dislike it. Sean, have you got any comments as you panically rewrite your idea?
I love time travel shit.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was tempted to be like...
Apart from a certain musical on the West End right now.
I was tempted to say, should I like try and really throw it in for Sean and be like, and when he travels to the Old West in California, he meets Marty and Doc Brown.
I'd be down for that.
But I thought, like, nah, that'll be going too far in pandering to one member of the team here.
I don't mind that. Well done. Sean, if you've not got any other comments, do you want to pitch us your show?
Yes.
So, for the listeners of this...
No. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, when Jem earlier said Hamilton but Hugo Louis Byers, Sean made a face that I can only really describe to the listeners as
Scrub back. Go to the YouTube video. Scrub back.
Scrub back.
And then
I'm
come
Gemma and
back.
I say words. So my
Single
idea
word,
is...
Sean. What's your pitch?
It's a panto called Hugo and the Golden Reef.
Okay, I'm sold already. But please, continue.
Right, so it opens. It's a panto. It opens. Right. The first song is gonna be... It's gonna be as good as the opening in Heathers. We're gonna get... No, actually, it's gonna be as good as the opening in Mean Girls. The first song in Mean Girls, we start in Africa and we get to America. We're gonna do that, but we're gonna... Where was he born?
Go from Germany or go
He's
from
gonna
Prussia.
Go, in the first song, we're going to go to Germany, we're going to go to America, and then we're going to end in Australia. We're going to have like a really cool thing at the back where it's all the flags. And we do the song, ba 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 ba. This is the person. Oh, it's like, I tell you what, the song's going to be very much like the first song in Hamilton, where it's like, Hugo, and he's gonna be a gold miner, Hugo, but he's going to America, Hugo. No, he's too young, or is he? There might be time travel, we don't know. Hugo, we're going to Australia. Okay, so then, yeah, it basically opens. So you know he's a draper assistant. I'm right in thinking that's like clothing.
Clothing, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought by draper they meant like curtains.
Both.
Oh, it's curtains. Anyway,
I'm not saying
yeah.
I'm right.
So
I'm just saying that's what I thought. I thought like
It opens
drapes.
there, and the first act is like him meeting his wife in a chance encounter there. He has the double wedding. Da, 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 da. We get to the first act, and he loses all his money. It ends with like disaster. The children are crying. This person he befriended, he stole all his money, and then but there's a chance that he can redeem himself if he can find the golden reef. Now, I'm making this up now. Everyone thinks that the golden reef is underwater because it's a reef, but what they don't know, it's actually a golden nugget, and it ends with Hugo finding the golden nugget and selling it off, and then all the money, he saves the day. Everyone's happy. It's like, yeah, and that's the panto.
I feel
And his sister's the dame, which makes the double wedding scene funny.
Okay, now I was about to say I don't think I'm sold on it being a panto. I
Yeah.
want it to be a musical, but now I want it to be a panto.
So
it's panto.
I just looked it up by
And
the
do you
way.
want to know why? Do you want to know why panto is in my head? So you know the picture of him, and he's like, "Oh, I got my jacket, I got my bow tie, and here's my golden nugget." When I first saw that, I thought it was a Christmas tree. And that's why I was like, oh, at Christmas, what can I do at Christmas? So yeah, that's the panto, Hugo and the golden reef. And I won't sing it again because you can just scrub back. But that's the song.
Scrub back, everybody. Come
That's
on,
the song.
get scrubbing.
Yeah, I just want the opening number where there's loads of different flags of him just like as like a kid, like, hey, I'm gonna be the money man, and they're like, no, you're too young, and the flag changes. Oh, the kids later in the thing could play him as a person in the first scene. So when he goes from Germany, he's one of the childs, and then he's like, oh, I'm too young. But then when he goes to America, he's a different child because he's aged, and that's how you could see the child actors to start off with, and then he's like, I'm in Australia, and it's the main person. It's John Barrowman. He's like, whoa, I'm in Australia.
Okay, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
Well, first question is more of a statement. A draper was someone who sold cloth primarily for clothing, so you two were both right. I was wrong more. Number 2 is once again still a statement. I love that this is going to be a panto that starts with 2 people dying of plague.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and number 3, will John Barrowman have his dick out?
Oh, I can't use John Barrowman anymore. And Jason Donovan, he's Australian.
Jason Donovan, perfect.
Brilliant.
There we go.
I have no questions. I thought that this article was impossible to make fun and interesting, and I know how to smush this all together. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, I think I also have a very easy smush. If we just ignore Jem's idea.
No. I've got a way to put it in.
Okay.
It's called marketing.
Oh, is it literally just we smush in Sean's show because he mentioned in his, was he a time traveller? Which means we can weave in my idea a bit. And then just to weave in yours, we do TikToks to market it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We can smush it better than that. You know at Christmas time when like ITV have like the This Morning Panto, and it's all the people who work on, they're like, oh, I'm going to be this person. Oh, and she's going to be, she's one of the loose women. She's going to be on this. It's a panto made by people in a TikTok house.
There you go. No. An Australian TikTok house.
Can it still be starring Jason Donovan? Can we get him set up on TikTok?
I've penciled him in.
Yeah. And I think it's narratively a little bit more of the structure of time travel. There's a little panto's always going to have a weird element to it, and that weird element is time travel. Yeah.
Am I right in saying TikToks can be maximum 1.5 minutes, isn't it? Something like that.
3 minutes now.
Oh, is it 3 minutes now?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, is there a way that we can make this be the first panto entirely on TikTok? So it's over 40 TikToks.
Well, you can either do that or you can just go live. But that doesn't get saved to anything. And you need to have 10,000 followers in order to do that. But if it's made by the people in TikTok house, then whoopsies. We're all good.
I don't know what TikTok is.
Wow.
I think from what I understand, TikTok is big Vine. Or little YouTube.
It's little YouTube. And it is one of the only joys that could be found during lockdown.
And if you want to follow us on the picture version of TikTok, called Instagram, you can do that by clicking on the link tree down below. It's linktree/OFITD. And not only is the Instagram there, the Facebook's there, the talking TikTok with the blue bird, that's there. And the longer TikTok, YouTube.
Bigger TikTok.
Bigger TikTok. That's there as well. And if you want to follow my personal picture TikTok, it's Instagram, sure. I don't know what it is. It's still Shawnee B, apparently. Hey, Gemma, do you have any TikTok knockoffs that people want to follow you on?
I have a picture knockoff. I have a picture TikTok and a TikTok, both at OFITD_JEM.
Gem. And hey, Joe, you got any knockoffs of the TikTok?
Well, if you want to follow me on Rick Rock, the new platform for fans of the singer of Shaggy's It Wasn't Me, or on Picture TikTok, that was Twitter, yeah? Or was
I
that
don't-
bird TikTok?
That was wordy bluebird TikTok.
Wordy bird TikTok. You can do so at NOTJOERACZKA. That's Notjoranchka. And check out my link tree on there to find out all the other things I'm up to at the moment.
Yeah.
But Sean,
I've nailed that.
I was using encyclopedic TikTok
Oh,
to
that's the
randomize
more
and find
wordy
out.
TikTok.
Yeah, extra wordy TikTok.
Extra wordy TikTok.
Yeah.
Wordy TikTok Plus.
Yeah, Wordy TikTok Plus has a randomizer feature now.
A random TikTok.
Do you want to know what TikTok we're going to be ticking next week talking about?
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about a different kind of golden nugget. Well, more, a silver coin. As we're going to be talking about the 1,000 yen coin. The 1,000 yen coin is a domination of the Japanese yen. The domination is only used for the commemorative silver coins struck by the Japan Mint. The first one was issued to commemorate the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Which, in many ways, means it's our return to talking about the Olympics.
Yay!
It always comes back to the Olympics.
It's always back, baby!
I feel like I'm gonna get really like Robert Wilson style art wankery with this next one. I have my idea already, and I'm so excited for it.
It's
Well-
nice that you can change the art wankery. You
Yeah,
mix
it's
it up a
different-
little bit.
It's different
I-
styles of art wankery.
I've got to be honest, I have no idea who Robert Wilson is.
It's Robert
and-
Wilson. Well, he's like a theatery TikTok.
Oh, he's one of
TikTok.
those live on stage TikTokers.
I'll tell you about Robert Wilson. Right, he's batshit crazy. Okay, but in a good way.
In a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Sometimes he
And-
makes beautiful pieces of art. Sometimes he makes a 7-day performance on a hill. Do you?
Yeah. Well, if you can't wait for the minutes to TikTok down until you get to listen to that episode, sorry, you have to. But we'll see you next week.
I'm gonna say I tried to find the word newsletter the other day, and I couldn't retrieve the word newsletter. So in a meeting with some like really big people, I shouldn't be messing up the word newsletter with. I all that my brain gave me was podcast for your eyes. So.
And
Have
hey,
a
if
good
you've
TikTok
enjoyed
day.
this podcast for your eyes and ears, let us know.
TikTok.
Bye!
Yeah.
TikTok!
Knock it out the pitch.
Talk.
Talk.
Talk.